Hello everybody. What's up, Austin, Billy? Thank you so much for having me on your show and for giving me the opportunity to give you an insight to one of the craziest tricks that I have ever done. So I'm gonna take you a year prior. I was out spot searching with my friend Tori, and we went to this high school, Skyline. I went over to a spot that we don't usually go to. It's the front spot. We usually go to the back spot. There's some handicap rails that we session that you can do lines on. And I was looking for something a little bit different. I had gone to this front part before, and it was kind of like a awkward, steep, high 12 stair that had a 12 set that had nothing on top of it. But it was kind of just in the way, it made it hard to go to, especially with how high the rail was. I think it started about nipple high, and it had this like crack in the waist that you had to jump over. So it wasn't like a session rail that you could go to and have a good time on. So I went there looking for a trick that I could do, and I got up top and I looked down, and for some reason that day I could pull the rail like super close, and it became possible to disaster to the rail. And I had told Tori that, man, when the end of my career comes and I'm willing to put my body on the line for this, I'm gonna attempt it. And so a year passes, and throughout that year I had been dreaming about this trick. It ran through my mind over and over and over, and I'd probably even had dreams where I was like flying in the air and just accomplishing this trick. And so year goes on, and the BMAG tour is in Salt Lake, and they want somebody to show them around two spots. So I'm out taking them around, and they had this all-star cast that was on their tour, and Billy happened to be one of them. And I remember at the time, Billy's skating was beyond amazing. He was doing disasters bigger than most, and just on point with how good he was skating. And I remember he came up and asked, "Hey Cam, is there any cool disaster rails around?" And I was like, "Oh man, yeah, we are in the area with this dream disaster. It's crazy. You know, are you willing to check it out?" Billy agreed. We went to the spot. He checked it out, and we came to the agreement that we'd go to eat, and he would think about it. And I remember when we went to eat, we ate at some McDonald's or fast food joint, and Billy had gone off on his own and was just sitting almost in a meditative state, just like visualizing this spot I had just took him to. And we went back to the spot, and Billy decided that, yeah, I'm gonna put my skates on and I'm gonna give this a shot. So Billy is the only guy skating. There's like 4 cameras, video cameras, and then 1 photographer, Jeremy Stevenson. Everyone was just there to kind of watch. It was probably like a 10, 12 person audience. So Billy was going through what he had to accomplish this, and it took about an hour or so of him running up back and forth and you know, psyching himself out to get and do this rail. And there were a few times where he was charging out the rail like he was gonna do it, and we're all just like getting amped to watch this guy do this unbelievable stunt, and he would slide out in the last 10 feet in fear of actually going for it. And if I remember correctly, there was even a time where he was dry heaving because of the intense adrenaline that I was probably going through. I can't even imagine. I mean, I just threw this thing onto him that day. He hadn't had that time that I had to like visualize it all and pull in the rail and just know that this was 100% doable. Anyway, so after about an hour, Billy came up to everyone and was like, "Hey guys, would you guys be upset if I didn't do that. And from my perspective, I was kind of just in my own realm at this point, but I watched everybody agree that, man, no way, this is totally cool. Why would you even think that it's a problem? Like, this thing's nuts. We wouldn't want to see you get hurt. Don't put yourself in a situation like that, you know? So everyone was cool, but me back in the background watching this all happen, I was like, nope, no. Everybody stop, wait, don't put your cameras away. Let's do this. And out of that, I was like, okay, told everyone this is what, that I want to do it. I put my skates on. I'd say good 5-10 minutes in, a few back and forth run-ups, I was already charging at the rail. And the first time I actually tried it, I was going probably about twice the speed you needed to go. And I remember a point where I like had to straighten my legs just so that I could reach to hit the rail and take some of the impact away for when I was gonna hit the ground totally sideways. Because it was that disaster back Royale. And after that, it was kind of like the adrenaline was just going so heavily that jumping a flat 12 and landing straight on my knees by tapping the rail wasn't enough to even like slow me down. I immediately got up, maybe screamed at the top of my lungs, and ran up the stairs to try again. I was trying to land fakie because I thought fakie would have been easier, but this next time I think I disastered, landed it, and then landed fakie, and it was just like I didn't even really see the landing even. It was just like I got to the rail, hit it, and then I was already off the rail by the time I caught up to it. But then the third try, I was like, okay, I'd gone the two times before, and then this one, jumped, I'm gonna land fakie, I land, and then right on the landing there's this like 4-inch crack that dropped down about that much, and I felt like I just hit it and it bounced, and then it threw me into this backslide. Luckily, I thought I was gonna hit the cement and just, you know, rip my back up, hit my head, do whatever happens, and instead I hit this soft grass and ended up sliding 10-15 feet just on my back, and ended up rolling over at the end of the speed, and just coming up like, oh my gosh, like that one was the one, and if I was gonna land it, that would have been it. Like that had to have been the one. So I was almost giving up at this point, but I think I gave it one more shot, and I was focusing on just landing forward, and this one it just like kind of blinked out in the air, hit the rail, and landed. And when I hit, you could see my foot bounce off that little crack, but I landed forward and it sent me into the right, into the grass. And when I hit that grass, it slowed me down a little bit. I was able to just like catch my balance. I saw my friends in the parking lot and was just like, holy crap, what just happened? It was a feeling that I don't think I ever found again at that level, and it was a really awesome experience to have and to look back on, and to know that anything is possible with visualization and just putting your faith in doing it. And by no means do I feel like I was any better of a skater than Billy at that time, and it didn't have 100% to do with how good you were. It just had to do with the ability to visualize for the amount of time that I had. And even though Billy had that time, it was like boom, boom, boom. It didn't settle in like it did for me. And then it just had the right people around to make that moment possible. And I was so lucky to have that, to have that all just work out so well together. And it was at the perfect timing for me and my career, because it was a time when I didn't have much personality to give, but that was something that the sponsors could look at and say, you know, like, oh, well, this does the talking for him. So it prolonged me to be able to skate at that level for a little bit longer. But yeah, I appreciate this opportunity, and I'm grateful for the time that you gave me to share this. So thank you, and enjoy, and see you next time.